Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Proline Daily, the longest-running sports handicapping show in America. Coming to you direct from Las Vegas, NBA playoffs, the focus of today's podcast, and with good reason as far as you're concerned, Jim. Jim Feist is here. I'm Dave Cokin. I know you missed the Bucks last night, but great weekend, and 95-56, going back 151 NBA plays. That's a pretty good run.
It's been good, and I'll mention a little bit about the Bucks. I'm totally wrong there. The inexperience, the youthfulness, and the guard play advantage at Toronto. This is sometimes where we make mistakes in judgment. I like the energy of the Bucks, but they truly are not as good as Toronto, and it's really showing up now. They made Casey made some adjustments, and it's really worked. And Milwaukee hasn't been able to counter it because their guard play is rather weak, and especially compared to what Toronto offers. So that was a mistake on my part. But we try to eliminate those, or at least limit them as much as we possibly can. 7 days of plays in all sports for $25. Now, all you have to do is call 888-777-4155.
I've got two things to plug. One, I'll mention that I had the Cubs last night, 14-3 winner. That was my only baseball play. And Sunday, I cashed in a 26-1 shot at the Zurich Open, the Valero Open with Kevin Chappell. He broke through and got his first win, and plus 2,600. My clients did really well with that. So here's two things to sink your teeth into. I've got a game of the week going tonight in baseball. 18-6 in the last 24 games of the week in all sports. Obviously, that goes back a lot of weeks because I only have one each week. 18-6 is a great run, and I've got my baseball game of the week tonight right now for only $25. And I'll also be posting this week's PGA play. It's the team event at the Zurich Classic. First time they've gone to a team event here, and I actually was not going to play this, but when I saw the prices and when I saw the prices, there's a really good value play in here. It's not on a favorite. I think Day and Fowler deserve to be favored, but 6-1 is kind of a ridiculous price. I think there is one team that, to me, has real good value, and that's going to be online as well at jimfeist.com for just $25. So if you want to have some fun, I'm having a really good year in golf, and you can get that selection for $25 at jimfeist.com. So let's talk some NBA and Memphis and the Spurs. I think this is fair to say that not many people thought this series would be going back to San Antonio even at 2 games apiece. I think a lot of people, Jim, probably thought Memphis would get 1 game at home, and they did get game 3. Then they got them again in game 4. So all of a sudden, the Grizzlies are right in this series.
You know, I've been watching every NBA playoff game, and sometimes I watch them twice because they do have a station where it cuts off all the commercials and everything, and you just see the action plays. Memphis has made some incredible adjustments, and they got Randolph back in the lineup. Gasol, Randolph, but I mean the key player, they paid a lot of money to Conley, and that was highly criticized because of how much it was. But boy, I'll tell you, this guy's a hell of a player, and he went toe-to-toe in that game, or these past few games, with Kawhi Leonard, who, when I watch this guy play, it's hard to say that he isn't the most valuable player in the league, but I think every team has a most valuable player, and it really depends on how it relates to the team and overall for the whole league. But they went toe-to-toe, incredible games by both of them, very competitive, short win. I mean, 110-108. It was back and forth, and when you look at this matchup now, I gotta say this. These guys are playing each other back to back to back. They know all their tricks. They know all the moves they can make. They played a lot. And you got to look at these numbers and say, hey, I know the zigzag theory and all that stuff, but when they get used to playing each other, how to defend each other, what plays to run, the effectiveness of the offensive changes, I got to start looking at points, in my opinion.
Well, the line is a little bit lower, actually, than it was. It opened lower for this game than it did in game 2. Actually, game 1 opened low at 8.5, went to 9.5. The second game, which the Spurs won and covered again, that opened 10 and 10.5, excuse me, went to 11, back to 10.5. Game 3 and 4 don't matter because they were at Memphis. This game opens 9. It's going to 10. So its public play is on the Spurs. I think San Antonio is going to win the game, but I would be uncomfortable laying the points at this point because I thought that Memphis might have had the look of a beaten team the first 2 games, but they certainly don't anymore. And there's no pressure on them. So I can see why the line opened a little bit lower. I can also see why the public still believes the Spurs will, their class will show here and they'll knock the team around. But I have a suspicion this might be a pretty good basketball game. So I didn't play it, but I would lean to Memphis as well, Jim. Let's look at Utah and the Clippers. And, look, injuries are definitely having an impact on this series. One good piece of news for the Jazz, Gordon Hayward will be back in the lineup, and they should be very confident the fact that they won game 4 without him. He was out with the food poisoning. He tried to play, but it just wasn't going to happen. And he was amazing in game 3. So now you look at Hayward scores 40 points in game 3. He's not there for game 4, and they win the game anyway. I got to think Utah's going to the LA tonight feeling really good about their chances.
Well, yeah, you got a big loss with Griffin with the Clippers. I know there's some people say, well, maybe they play better without him. I don't agree with that. He's a hell of a player, and Paul can't carry the team. If you take a weapon off the floor, you better replace him with somebody else, and they really have. That's hard to replace that.
Well, and I'll throw this in. I am one of those people who thinks that maybe the chemistry is better with no Griffin, but fourth quarter in game 4, they did miss him. They missed him a lot. Maurice Spates, rather, he was not good at all in game 4, and you could. I'm not going to point the finger and put all the blame on him, but if there's one guy who kind of wore the goat horns in that game for the Clippers, it has to be Spates.
Yeah, you have to wonder if a guy like Marquise will step up, and a lot of times, talented people will come back after a bad game and play much better the next game, and that is possible. But Utah's coming in, and this is the first time they've really been healthy. They got everybody on the floor tonight, and that is unusual for them. They've had one of those years, but overall, these teams are not that much different. I mean, you look at the records; they both come in 53 and 33. This is really a close matchup. Now, this is the 5th game in a very short period of time. Like I said, they know each other. They know the coaches know each other. The players know each other. They know the moves, and the guy can go left. He can go. They know all the moves, what they're going to do, and there's really nothing new to see. So that it's easier to defend somebody that you know. So I'm looking for a very hard-fought game here, and like the first game, I think when you get down to the game, unless there's a big talent disparity, which there is not in this game, I'm always looking towards the underdog, and many times the unders. Although this series has produced the last 2 games have produced overs.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for more defense. It's getting down to crunch time. You don't want to get that 3rd loss up there, and they're gonna fight hard. The only trouble when you start playing unders, you better watch those darn overtimes.
Yeah.
Especially in close games.
I haven't seen a lot of those in the playoffs so far, though. We did see one of the Memphis San Antonio game 4, so it should be fun to watch. And And fun to bet on if you have the right side. So hopefully we can provide some good information as far as that goes. And don't forget, there's free plays every day on a recorded message at 888-294-1970.
And you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Jim Feist Sports. And get 30 days of baseball for $499 right now at jimfeist.com. Plus, you can get free plays daily at GAME. Just text in GAME, G-A-M-E, to 25827.
There you go. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you again tomorrow with the Wednesday edition of Proline Daily. For Jim Feist, I'm Dave Cokin. Have a great Tuesday.